Hi, welcome to the Frugal Frau. I'm Sukey, your host, and today we're going to have a short video to show you how to make a flat panel for the frame that we made in the previous video. Now, before we get started, please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps the channel out, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. This is the unglued frame of the flat panel shaker style door we made in the previous video, and it of course is still clamped together but not glued. Tom is measuring the space where each panel will be installed, as they may not be exact but off by at most about 1 millimeter or 1/16 of an inch. He notes the measurements of the width and the length. Don't forget to add to those the depth of the groove into which the panel will be fit. Our grooves are 1/2 inch deep, so we add 1 inch to both the length and the width. Tom marks a line off of which to measure the length of the panel and squares off that mark with a bench square. He repeats that at the panel length measurement too. Squaring off that measurement. Tom cuts the panel on the marked lines using his homemade frame-style crosscut saw. He's doing this on his sawhorse bench and holding down the board with his knee. And when he gets to the end, he's going to reach through his frame saw to steady the board so it doesn't rip. As he cuts the end, and it almost ripped, but he saved it. Next, square off one of the panel length edges. This does not have to be as perfect as the frame pieces, as this edge will be concealed in a groove when the door is assembled. The other length edge will be squared after the panel is rip-sawed to its final width. Tom checks his measurements of the exact width he needs for the panel and marks it. Tom sets his panel marking gauge to the width needed for the panel. When this is done, he runs the set gauge against the squared off edge of the panel. This marking gauge uses a pencil to create the mark rather than a scribing pen. And you can see that pencil mark clearly here. Now flip the board and repeat this process on the other side. Rip the board down to the proper width with a rip saw. The board is not thick, so it has lots of flex. Therefore, Tom steadies it not only in the vise but with his hand. He saws about halfway down the length, and when he gets to that point, he will flip the board and start the other cut at the other end and cut through to the first cut. The board has been flipped, and Tom now cuts down to meet the first cut. Now you can square off the other lengthwise edge. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, as ultimately it will be hidden in a groove when the door is assembled. Flatten the visible face of the board first. The more you dig into the wood, the greater the possibility for tear out. Therefore, we advise you remove most of the excess off of the back side to reach the desired thickness. Since this is the front, he is not taking very much off at this point. The board has been flipped, and Tom is going to plane this down to the desired thickness, which in our case is 7/16 of an inch. Next, Tom scribes a mark into the board edges 1/4 inch from the back side of the board. This mark is used to establish the thickness of the board lip that will be fit into the 1/4 inch groove, in our case, in the frame when this is all glued together. Next, Tom marks a line about 3/4 of an inch from the board edges with another marking gauge. This line will be used to establish the rabbet edge he will cut to enable the panel to fit into the grooves in the frame pieces. Tom takes most of the waste off with his small coffin plane and his jack plane. This will make cutting the rabbet much easier and less labor intensive. The width of the board makes using a smaller plane, such as this coffin plane, a bit more practical. Tom continues removing more of the waste along the length of the board in preparation for cutting the rabbet. Tom is rescribing the line and then deepening it with a knife to provide an edge for the blade in the rabbet plane to write against in preparation for cutting the rabbet. Tom cuts a rabbet along one length of the back side of the panel. He has already completed all the other 3 rabbet cuts on this panel. You can see one of these short sides up against the dog as he planes this long edge. Tom tests the rabbets on all 4 edges of each panel with a scrap piece of the frame. This is to make sure it fits well in the groove. It is time to test fit the panels in the frame. The frame rail in which the rectangle lap joint was cut has been removed in order to do this. Do not skip this testing step. It is very important because you want to make sure this all fits before you apply any glue and start totally securing this door together. The door frame itself is right side up, so of course the panels are being inserted with their right sides up. Ensure the panels are completely seated in the grooves of the frame. The rail is replaced and tapped lightly to secure it so that we can check that the entire frame and panel fit well together and is perfectly aligned. Success! It all fits together well, and now we must pull it apart to begin the glue up. When gluing a panel into the frame, we recommend squeezing the glue onto the side of the groove that faces the back of the door. This ensures any glue oozing from the joint does not leak or bleed onto the front. You will have to, of course, wipe away the excess glue from the lap joints since they are on the front side of the door, and of course, You'll probably want to remove the excess glue from the back side of the door, but this is not possible until the glue is set and you can take the clamps off. And then you can flip the door over and remove that excess glue with a small chisel or 5-way. You will not want to have any interruptions, of course, during this glue-up process. Sometimes it's helpful to have an extra set of hands, and I often help Tom with this. Tom is setting the mullion dovetail lap and rail sections together first. Then he will add that rail into the stiles on the same end, square it up a bit, put the clamp on, at this point, he puts the glue onto the rectangle lap on the other rail and into that bottom groove. Or I should say the bottom side of the groove. Next comes the fun part. Slide the panels into the frame. Be sure to have the front side facing up and slide the other one in. Now put the remaining rail on. And you may have to lift the panels from the back to get them into the groove a little bit, and then give the whole assembly a little tap. Maybe use the small mallet. Put the second clamp on. Tap in the edges just to make sure everything is flush on those ends. Do the same at the other end. And then as a final step, you'll check your measurements in a few places to make sure the door is of equal width along its entire length. And if need to, you may have to push in some parts just to make sure that the rabbets and the grooves all line up. Give it a little squeeze in the middle. There. Your door is completely constructed. Now let the glue set before you remove the clamps, and you will have a beautiful door. I am going to folk paint this door to match the cabinet that I showed you at the beginning of this video.